What is up, people? Welcome back to the channel. This video is on special request by so many people who ask me, Rahul, I don't know what role to choose, whether I should get into game programming, game design, game art. And even after knowing which one to do, whether it's going to be game art or game design, within that role, there are so many other roles. There is, in game design, there is level designer, narrative designer, game world designer, UI designer, and within game art, there is 2D, 3D, and all these things. It's very confusing and I completely understand. And in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different roles, and I'm going to give you a very good framework by which you guys can choose which is the best role for you. And in the end, I'm going to give you a hack you will be able to determine really quickly as to how you can choose the best paying role for yourself. All right, so let's go. All right, guys, first off, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do subscribe because I post videos on gaming, game development content every single day. Also Instagram, make sure that you give me a follow on Instagram because there's some really good short form content over there, as well as join the Discord server of Gamer to Maker. That is where you can actually get in touch with me and join our Gamer to Maker community. All right, now that that's done, let's go ahead. First and foremost, remember that it is not a good idea to choose a role based on a trend, because everyday trends are going to change. Some people may say, what is trending right now? What role is trending right now? People ask me, what are the hottest roles? Where is the biggest demand in? Is it for 3D art or 2D art, for rigging or animation, or what kind of design? And this is a bad idea because trends can change. You can't keep changing your training depending on the changing trend. Say today there is a demand for character artists. Today that might go down, and tomorrow there might be a demand for environment artists, or there may be a demand for 2D animators, and the market keeps changing. So rather than depend on trends and look at what is a trend, you should look at what you are good at and what is your aptitude, right? So first point, do not look at trends. Now, if you don't look at trends, how do you know what is a good role to take? Now, to explain this, I will tell you a little bit of a story that I tell to a lot of people. Can you say, suppose there's a monkey who wants to fly, and the monkey says, oh, you know what? I believe that the best option for me is to fly like a bird in the sky. Sure, the monkey might think that that's very cool, but can the monkey actually do that? No, it can't, because it's a monkey. What it's good at is climbing up on trees, right? Similarly, a bird that flying in the sky can start thinking, oh, you know what? Flying is whatever. I want to swim. I want to be in the ocean. I want to be underwater. But the bird can't do that because it's a bird. It's not a fish. So what I'm trying to say here is that you yourself have some innate skill, you have some capabilities, you have some aptitude in yourself, right? And you may think that this is something that I want to do, but maybe this is not aligned with the market right now. Maybe I can't make money with that in the gaming industry, and that is false. It is a much better strategy to do what you are good at, what you really like to do. And once you decide what that is and you go ahead in it, you can do really well. Because remember, the way to make money, the way to build a career, the way to actually reach that 30, 40, 50 lakh rupees salary a year, and yes, you can get those salaries. People are shocked when I tell them that you can get 20, 30, 40, 50 lakh rupees a year in any role. You can get up to that level in any kind of role, even if it is as a 2D artist or 3D animator or a tester or a game designer or a programmer. Every single role in the game industry, if you build up skill, if you go high enough, if you build competency, you will find a job, you will find a studio, you will find people who are really looking for deep and strong skills. What is a bad idea? is to have a low level of skill in many things, then you may just about get an entry level job, but you will not excel. You won't go far. You will not enjoy your work. You'll keep going from one small company to other small company to other small company. You will never get those roles in big companies which pay really well, offer good benefits, offer travel, and you can actually work on some really high quality games that you enjoy. So remember, whatever role you choose it and then go ahead, build your skills, build your portfolio, go really deep into that particular role, doesn't matter what. Okay, and here there's something very interesting that I want to talk about is that this will be 2D and 3D art. Now what happens is that most people play a lot of 3D games, right? You play AAA games and you want to be 3D artists. And what's happening is that because of institutes like Mac and Arena, etc., they are just getting students to do 3D courses, promising that they would make them game makers, but they're not teaching the game art skills. And what's happening is that the market at this point is actually flooded with 3D artists who are looking for jobs and they don't have that level of skill or that full portfolio, which means that 2D art is actually really in demand right now in the game industry. So you might think that 3D art is the way to go, but if you have a choice between 2D and 3D art, remember there is a lot of demand for 2D artists, illustrators and animators, especially in the gaming industry right now. But most people don't even know that. I know people who are making really good money, just starting off, more than 10 lakh rupees a year starting salary as a 2D artist or animator or VFX artist. So 2D is really in demand right now. Next up, you don't know what kind of role to have. So now let me tell you a little bit about the difference between design, art and programming. Now, if you are the kind of person who plays many different games, different kinds of genres, not just one kind, not just PUBG. If you like to play story-based games, shooters, FPS, strategy games, different kinds of genres, different kind of platforms, you have good knowledge of games, storytelling, gameplay, and you have been playing games for a good amount of time, and if your English is good, right? You don't have to be Shashi Tharoor, but you have to be confident in written English and spoken English, and also you are a good communicator. If you can communicate well, if you can talk to people. Now, if you're the kind of person who's very shy, doesn't like to put on their camera in a meeting, you're an introvert, you don't like talking to people, having meetings, then game design is not for you. But if you are all of these things, you communicate well, your English is good, you played good games, and you like making presentations, you're an outgoing person, then game design is something which is very suitable for you, right? Next up, if you're a logical person, you like to do things systematically, you are a creative problem solver, and you have some ability at coding, then game programming is for you. Game programmers are very logical people. They also can be imaginative, they also can be creative, but their thing is logic. You tell them how to do it, how to write some code and solve problem. They think linearly and logically, and they're very strong at that. So if that is something which you are good at, then game programming is possibly for you. Lastly, game artists. Now, game artists, as a game artist, you need to be creative. You need to have some flair for drawing, right? You need to be a problem solver with your eyes. Whenever you're playing a game, if you're looking at the characters, you're looking at the objects, and you want to create those, you want to create the visual aspect of a game, then game art may be the one for you, right? Now, there are some people who actually do more than one. There are some people who do game art and game design. Myself, I'm good at game design, but I'm also an art director. So I'm not an artist, but I understand art. So my two specialties are design and art, but not programming. I don't know how to code. It's not my thing. Okay. So you can have more than one, but you must have one specialty of these three. Now, the last question is, how do I know which one is for me? How do I know which one to choose? And the only way to do that is to actually do all three and find out how you are. So the only way to do that is to actually build a game. So in Game Maker, many of our students, when they join the program, they're like, I don't know what I want to do. So we help them to kind of understand a little bit about their aptitude, understand what they might be good at. Some of them take packages, some of them take game art and game programming, some of them take game design and game art. So they do both of them, and at some point they decide what it is that they are better at. So if you have a choice, make a game, build a game along with a group of friends, and do more than one thing. Do a little bit of design, do a little bit of art, and once you actually do it in the process of making a game, you will start to understand what you like to do and what you are good at. And these two may not be the same. Maybe there's something that you think you like doing, but when you actually start doing it, you're like, okay, this is not what I expected. I'm not having fun. This is not great. So don't make a decision about what role you should have till you have actually tried doing it in a game and you've realized, okay, this is something I'm good at. This is something I like. Okay, so once you've decided that, then you have to decide which role within design or art or programming to do. So the first thing to do is, especially in design and art, is to actually have an idea of what to do based on what you like to do, right? So as a designer, first you have to learn pretty much all of design, and then you can kind of choose what you want to specialize in: system design, level design, or UI design, or whatever it is, or narrative design, right? Within art, once again, there are many disciplines, but first I would encourage you to learn the basics of game art, learn like form drawing, learn line drawing, learn all these things, just like we do in Game Maker. Also, if you're interested in a structured learning program which is certified by the government, do check out Game Maker, do check out our website, check out our programs. They're all government certified partnered programs, the only ones online, and soon we're going to be introducing offline also in 2025. So this video was all about roles, what to choose, what not to do. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any comments or any other video suggestions, do let me know. Let's go.